Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Firdaus. Nama metric TM24004. Today I want to present about project management, about the 5-phase life cycle in a project. First, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closure. This is contained in my slide, which is have introduction, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, closure, and the conclusion. First, what is project management? Project management is the application of knowledge, skill, tools and technique to project activities to meet project requirement. It's the practice of planning and organize and execute the task or project yang need to turn intelligent idea into a tangible product, service or deliverable in the market. First, in the project management, we also have a risk that we need to consider and aware it. Risk is which is why? Because it's unexpected event that can affect your project for better or for worse. Risk can affect anything such as people, process, technology and resources. And an important distinction to remember is that risks are not the same as issue. Issue are things you know you will have to deal with and may even have an idea of when they will occur, like a team member schedule, vacation or big spike in product demand around the holiday. Why risk management is important? Because it can identify the problem earlier before occur, that we can take a step to avoid it. Second, reduce our financial loss, stress, accident and injury in organization, because when have a risk, we have a loss of many of financial in your project that must be okay. Next, can improve in decision making and planning to manage project, because when you have a good manage you can have a better making and planning to manage your project in the best way. First step, initiation. In the initiation phase, you have a few steps that contributes, such as first, preliminary technical identification, which is reviewing the project chart for early stage, which is review the project chart and the requirement in technical to find showstoppers such as unproven technology or extreme safety hazard. Second, identify stakeholder. Stakeholder is an individual, team, organization with a vested interest and influence in your project that will be affected by your project at any point in the life cycle, and their input can directly impact the outcome. Stakeholder play an important role in your project because it will affect the progress of your project in the future. Next, feasibility study, which is to prove that the project can be executed or not within a reasonable time and cost. It should be done after the business case has been complete. During the life cycle phase is ongoing. Okay, next, what is business case? It is a project management document that explains how the benefit of the project outweigh its cost and why it should be executed or developed. What to include in the document? Project objective, cost, benefit to convince stakeholder of its value and risk of the project. Next, we move to the planning. Second phase of the life cycle. This phase is one of the most important part of the successful project. Project planning is the process of defining the goal, timeline, tasks, resources, and strategy for executing a project. They outline what need to be done, when, and by whom to achieve a project goal. In your planning, you must consist of first, project charter. It shows a general overview of the project, which is you can see this clearly about the project goal and timeline of the project. Second, work breakdown structure, WBS. It is a way to visualize our project deliverable, the tasks and subtasks needed to complete it. It is to ensure the work are manageable in a good way. When WBS is suitable to use, during starting of planning phase, who use the WBS? Used by the project management as they had planned the project, and sometimes need everyone to include it with some important plan in the organization. Why planning is necessary in our project? Because no one can complain if they want to use a different estimating technique, because you specify the estimate earlier and no one can justify it, because you are project manager. Second, help for monitoring progress, which is you can monitor your progress while doing a project with a good way. Third, ensure that your project is follow the plan structure, which is you can follow without the unnecessary thing. Okay, next we move to execution. The third phase, normally in this phase, the project are complete. This phase normally tend to do a keep meeting with your regular team or organization team, and also do a report with the project status and progress. In this phase, project manager need to oversee the project management and knowledge area as they are monitoring before they are moved to monitoring and control phase. Project scope: view of objective and detailed list of all the elements involved in the project. What to include in project scope: first, statement of work, list of limitation and boundary. Third, all potential deliverable. Fourth, some criteria to measure such as for project team. Second, goal statement, outline what team plan to implement and complete during project. It can also reiterate the project purpose. Can show the benefit or identify the risk and challenge in a project. Third, resources allocation, which is the resource such as unlike the scope, quality, spec and goal which what team need to put in the plan into action. Project schedule, full schedules required in the PEP. This can show by using work breakdown structure to list and create deadline for your task. Last, organizational component, which is the final step. The PEP need to consider the operational aspect of the project. Need to identify who has authority to make decision. Should have outline animated use in project. Next, we move to monitoring and controlling. The fourth phase involved to monitoring the progress of the project execution activity, and one of the main part of this phase is quality control. And what is quality control? Project quality management is the process of defining quality standard for deliverable of a project, as well as the quality assurance measure to guarantee those standards are met. Element in project quality management is customer satisfaction, prevention of inspection, continuous improvement. Next, last phase is closure. The final project deliverable present to the stakeholder. Once it's approved from the stakeholder, all resources is released, documentation is complete, and everything is signed off because the last phase and the project is approved. In this phase, what can be involved is recommend way to improve the project while have some problem, and future project benefit, what can you get from the project, and lastly, learn to have a good project report and good team. Okay, last conclusion. First, the project effort with a clear beginning will give a best result at the end. And while we have a good stakeholder, the project work going smoothly without the conflict, and we must aware the risk of the project and know how to manage it and without a failure. Lastly, be a good project management if you want to have a good organization. And that's all from me. Thank you.